we can start. So, thank you, welcome again. Thank you for those who are supporting me. And you see what we have done until now for the last almost year, what we have learned. What we have learned, those principles and practices are for the highest level of seekers. Isn't it a surprise to you? So the Master says these principles are for the highest level of a seeker. Do you align that? Are you the highest seeker? And then you do the practice. If yes, then you are simply enjoying my talk every week. You want to be with it, but you have already reached. But if not, so that is what David and Jerry, I was talking. Thank you for all your support. So until now, for the last 1 year, what we have been learning is typically associated with the highest level of a seeker. The goal of the Eastern wisdom is self-discovery, one, and to end the suffering and awaken to permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. The real self is absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. That is what we truly are. And the entire year of a journey on Mondays and Thursdays, as suggested by David and Jerry, so I thought that to pick up the highest principles, or the principles that is for the highest seekers. But we never understood who is the highest seeker. We take for granted. I want $1 billion. I don't know whether I'm capable of it or not. But another issue, that the masters in the Eastern wisdom, they start with the highest. Why? They have a liberty to go down if you do not understand. But you start from the lowest, the teacher has no option what to say. What to say. So I have changed the title, Become a Seeker, become the highest seeker. Now see, you are the highest seeker. You have no blame, no complaint, no regret. That you have to check yourself. Teacher is not going to check you. Only you are going to self-check. The highest seeker, the mind of the highest seeker is constantly aware of the goal of life. What is the goal of life? Is the self-discovery. Why self-discovery? There will be no problems, no suffering. And no, but I fell down and I hurt my knee. What should I do? What the highest seeker should do? Should he not get the treatment? You see, the highest seeker is constantly aware. He should get the best treatment based on the resources. But at the same time, he is detached with the heart and the pain. How that happens? how that happens. That needs to be understood. So that's why today we are starting a series, Become a Seeker. It means I should become the highest seeker. When you are on the top, every principle and the practice is accepted 100%. Commitment is there, you are practicing, and you start undergoing a change from the day one. Now you live in the world, and as if you do not belong to the world. You are living in the world, but you do not belong to the world. I'm just talking at the surface, and then I will go directly to the main point. Who is the highest seeker? And then we start working on to become the highest seeker in the life. Isn't it a good topic? Stephen keeps smiling. Why are you so serious? So we feel, think, experience, pain, pleasure, hatred, jealousy, profit, loss, good, bad, all are observed by the mind. The mind is an observer. Now pick up one principle. Mind is an observer that believes that people, even things are good or bad. So there is an observer and there is observed. Did you understand this point? Observer, observed. Theoretical physics says that observer effect is the disturbance of an observed system by the act of observation. Or to simply put, what the theoretical physics, from where the quantum mechanics and quantum physics has come. But remember one thing, they say it is a theoretical physics. Theoretical idea. What they say? Observer and observed is a combined event. What that means? I am an observer for you all. So you are observed, I am observer. We both are not two essentially. It is a combined event. There is a fraction of a space between you and me. That is why I feel you are separate from me. This is what the theoretical physics talks about. But we show it practically. We don't say it is a theory. We say it is a reality. By saying that mind perceives falsely and wrongly, remove them to replace one real self. I did not get it. We are coming. So this, when I see that you are separate from me, it is a very subtle level of delusion. So once we remove the delusion, practically we experience the oneness. That is the highest goal of a Eastern wisdom. So why I was talking about it? I was talking about the mind that creates the delusion, and through the mind I become the highest seeker. And I discussed in the very beginning of the journey last year, do you remember? Mind lives in 5 subjective states. Do you remember? Wandering mind, forgetfulness mind, distracted mind, one-pointed mind, and empty mind. Do you remember? Yes, I remember. So who is the highest seeker? Who lives in the 4th state of the mind, 24/7? What is that? That is translated as one-pointedness. But one-pointedness or focused or concentrated mind applied in the material world is totally different from the one-pointed mind of the seeker. So we are starting a journey to become the highest seeker. That highest seeker always succeeds. There is no point of failure. So now see that the first is the wandering mind. Wandering mind is scattered in millions of directions on different thoughts and objects. You wake up in the morning, oh my honey, wandering mind. Coffee, wandering mind. I had slept less or more, wandering mind. So then what is the one-pointed mind? You wake up in the morning, thanks God, I know my real self. You may love your honey too much, but that is one. What is mudha, the forgetfulness mind? Second is the subjective state of the mind is mudha, means the mind becomes one with the inert object, any object outside. How it happens? That is what the Sam was asking a question about the likes and dislikes. Subconsciously and habitually, the moment you see an object and mind says, I love it, I like it, you lose your awareness and this mind becomes one with the inert object. It forgets its nature. It is a kind of insane mind that we experience when we are attached to objects. And the third subjective state of the mind is distracted. How to understand that? You are sitting in meditation. I say, be comfortable. The mind says, I am the most uncomfortable guy. The mind goes opposite. I say, look at the breath. You are looking at honey in your meditation. So mind triggers you to move outward. That is the third subjective state of the mind. Categories. And the fourth state of the mind is one-pointed. We are understanding. To summarize that, to what is one-pointed? The goal of life is clear and you are aware of the goal of life 24/7. You sleep, you are going to the bed. The mind knows that I have to find the real self. You have the problems of likes and dislikes, profit and loss, victory and defeat in the world outside. You say, that's okay. Let me continue to work. Correct my mistake. I will continue to live in this material world, but I am not affected by any of them. You are one-pointed. So you need not to tell me that you are, I should give you a certificate that you are the highest seeker. Are you a highest seeker? You have to give certificate to yourself. And that is what we are going to understand in this series step by step. What are those steps that makes you the highest seeker? Now see, there are 5 subjective states of the mind. Did I talk about the 5 objective states of the mind? Do you remember? The right knowledge, the thought that gives you the right knowledge, the thought that gives you the wrong knowledge, the thought that leads to imagination, the thought patterns or thoughts, collective thoughts, and sleep and the memory. These are the 5 objective states of the mind. When I say you something nasty, you get hurt. So it is the thought process. I normally never say you get hurt. Or even if I say something good, you get hurt. Yeah, it happens in our day-to-day life. Your honey says something wonderful. He or she never had any intention to hurt you, but you get hurt. right? It happens in our day-to-day life. That happens because of the first three subjective states of the mind. The mind is wandering, mind is forgetfulness, mind lives into the state of distraction. That is why you get hurt. So now see that. We are understanding what is the Ekagrata, what is the one-pointed state of the mind that makes you the highest seeker. So all these thought patterns are of two types. Do you still remember? Painful and non-painful. A particular thought gives you the pain, or a second thought is non-painful. So these painful thoughts are linked to the 5 factors of ignorance or 5 factors of suffering that we are going to understand. So what happens to the highest level of a seeker? Unaffected. You say me crazy, you have no authority to give me a certification that I am crazy. Can I have that sense of understanding all the time? All the time. In all relationship. Otherwise you feel hurt and then you start blaming and complaining. And still you claim that you are the highest seeker. It will not work. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So coming back, the 4th state of the mind, if you live with it 24/7, you are the highest seeker. So there are many steps, very baby steps that makes you the highest level of a seeker. First is the 4 connection that we will take up step by step. Then there are 9 primary steps, practices that are must. That is one way to put it. What happens? Take practically. You have started living consciously from moment to moment, so that the impressions in the mind that has accumulated for over years, they do not affect you. Whether it's a matter of likes and dislikes, pain and pleasure, heat and cold, victory and defeat, favorable and unfavorable circumstances, you don't care. No, I felt very calm, but my mind was distracted. That is okay to share the experience, but at the same time, did you succeed in overcoming that challenge? Instantly, at the same time, during the meditation, you are the highest seeker. Did you understand that? You have made the body comfortable. Who says? Your mind says. After 5 minutes, mind says, no, this is not the most comfortable position. Let me change it. Are you the highest seeker? Ask yourself. I need not to judge and understand. Why should I judge that you are the highest seeker or not? So my master used to say there are 70 indications, pointers outside that proves that you are the highest level of a seeker or you are not. We are not going there, but we will focus that how to become the highest seeker so that we always succeed. Can I say that it is a kind of an inner orientation of the mind that changes the perception and removes the wrong perceptions and notions by acquiring the knowledge and principles of Eastern wisdom? Yes. When you go to university, Brandy might be giving orientation to the students when you are admitted to a particular course. But it is much more than. Inner orientation here means the mind withdraws. Mind can easily withdraw itself from outside, not only from outside of the objects and the people, but also withdraws from the body the sense organs. The moment the teacher says, close your eyes, be comfortable, you say, okay, I am comfortable. And the teacher doesn't speak for an hour. You remain in that state. You remain in that state. That is the meaning of the highest level of a seeker. Now say the same thing to you. Okay, I will. Now I am comfortable. My mind is looking inside the forehead. And after I stop, for 10 minutes you are sitting there. Who disturbs? The first three states of the mind. Do you see that? You are in the fourth state of the mind. So what we have learnt until today is for the highest seekers. And I told you, my master used to say that it is better to give the teaching first to the highest seekers. Why? They can set an example for the lower seekers. So our journey, like the journey of the science starts, first you should understand what is atom, consists of electron, proton and neutron, and ultimately in PhD you know how to make an atom bomb. You do not start making an atom bomb from the beginning. But here, in this journey, you start from the highest. So the teacher has always the liberty to go down, to guide the lower practices. So if we are not the highest seeker, there are at least 6 or 7 different ways and means to become the highest seeker that we are going to learn in this series. First, again, I will pick up the highest. From the next week, again, I will pick up the highest. The first principle is 4 connections. Do you know the subject matter? Is the mind fully aware of the subject matter? First connection. Do you know the goal of life? Have you contemplated? Have you reflected? Go on earning money. Go on doing what you are doing. They are goals in life, but are you 100% clear the goal of life is my evolution, rise in consciousness, reaching to the highest, what is that, my real nature, which is made up of permanent peace and happiness. That brings an end to the suffering. So you see the subject matter, we will talk in detail. Then the goal of life. Then the third is, who has this goal of life? Check it. You, as a seeker. So that seeker's mind has lot of impurities. 1, distraction 2, and the ignorance 3. So if we remove all the 3, step by step we become highest level of seeker. Mind becomes one-pointed. So all the three connections we have dealt with it. And the fourth is how to connect the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom through these 3 points. Knowledge, goal of life. Knowledge, impurity of the mind. Knowledge and subject matter. What is real self? So we get the knowledge. You cannot, it's a theoretical physics. They say quantum physics. Now I have seen a lot of people are talking quantum meditation. I have to understand yet what is this quantum meditation. But still it is a theoretical physics. Meditation is not theory. So how there can be a quantum meditation? Simple argument. So then there is a second process of becoming that contains the 9 primary steps, and all are inner steps, mental steps that you remember, you keep in your mind, you apply that in your personal, professional, social life. So inside you remain a seeker, outside you are doing anything, whatever you are doing, that will be okay. Another part, and then we'll start our practice. you have heard about Ashtanga Yoga, 8-limbed path. There are 8 organs. We have also the 8 noble path of Buddhism. So the first 6 path of noble path of Buddhism is that makes you the highest seeker. The external yoga. What is external yoga? Yama, niyama, the moral and ethical codes, social behavior, plus practice of select asanas, not practicing headstand. I have been making a joke about it, so you should be very clear. You have to select 1 or 2 posture out of 8 postures. Finished. And continue doing the practice. And then select breathing practices and pratyahara. So first 5 makes you the highest seeker. If you are doing it consciously with wisdom. And then the second chapter of Patanjali, he says Kriya Yoga. There are a lot of misconceptions about Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga, you add yoga after Kriya. Kriya means action. All practices of yoga are actionable. So the masters have selected 3 groups of practices that makes you the highest seeker. Now, who is not the highest seeker, whose mind gets distracted during the practice? So there is one group of practices for the highest seeker, and there is a second group of practices whose mind is distracted. Did you get it? I hope you will like it. Even if you don't like it, please practice. That will help you change your life. So let us start our journey of practice today. Eyes are closed. So don't become conscious, Oh, I told you, then I will force my body to remain still. Now, still you are not the highest seeker. Now you are demonstrating. Mind is in conflict. So don't do that. For God's sake. So eyes are closed, the body is comfortable, and body is comfortable. Mind is looking inside the forehead. Stage 1. So what we are checking, if the mind is calm and poised. Why calm and poised? You know it. Being comfortable, moving the mind on the neck joint. So you follow all the 3 points. First is the body is the inert, the joint. Second level, the subtle experience of sensation, comfort and steadiness. And the third level is just the space. Why? One-pointedness. But the mind feels the sensation, comfort and steadiness, and then it says, let me move the body. You are gone. Very subtle point. Our goal is to become the highest seeker, become a seeker. Again, shoulder joints. So it is you that you have to check, not the teacher. So, shoulder joints, sensation, comfort and steadiness, and the space means I'm asking the mind, you are asking your own mind, oh, now stop doing anything. You have done it. What you have done? You have seen the hip joint, see it, feel it, experience sensation, comfort and steadiness. You have done it. And I stop speaking, so your mind also stops there. I heard the phrase bucks stops there. Check it. But no worries if the body moves. You instantly become aware. So it means you raise your awareness. The next moment, you are already there. So there are a lot of stuff in between at the subtler level. The entire body, you feel the sensation, comfortable, and steadiness. And those who have physical challenges, it's okay. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. No more instruction. So mind lives in the space. You know what happens in a party that I'm talking to you and then I stop talking to you. So your mind goes to the other person and we start the gossip. So gossip is not required during meditation. I'm just giving you some references so that you can make yourself clear. Being carefree. What are the carefree? Free from all the cares. Who cares? The mind. How it cares? By the thoughts, feeling, and the sensations. What are the two qualities of a thought? The thought, feeling, and sensation is either painful or non-painful. You are unaffected by it. You neither welcome that I should think, nor you force the thought to go away. You recognize you are in the level of your awareness. Oh, likes, dislikes, painful, non-painful, very good, thank you very much, mind. I don't want you. So how come I want any thought? See that idea, that thought. And then, in that sense, you become casual. Let us get another understanding. You have been doing quick and short breathing and you have been doing the humming. We have done many a times in many practices of meditation. The goal of that was to remove the first three states of the mind. Remember, wandering, forgetfulness, distracted. So let us start with that. So now, we are a seeker. So when you are a seeker, you don't ask anything how long you have to do it. So look inside the forehead, lips remain together, body doesn't move, and you start breathing short in the quick breath, gentle, playful breath through both the nostrils. You should enjoy that. A seeker enjoys doing every step. Start that. Continue quick, short, gentle, playful breath. Your mind, look at the mind. Is it painful for the mind, that action, or non-painful? Or I would simply say, are you enjoying it or not? and stop it. More intense steps to come every week, and at the same time, you should maintain your awareness that practice will help me to become the highest seeker. To have an opposing thought, if any thought that comes to the mind, no, I cannot do it, I should not do it. No worries. Worry-less state of the mind picks up the step, absorbs into it, and experiences the changes. So it means we are going to become, and now become aware. Take a very deep, silent, slow breath. First into the belly, then into the rib cage, up to the throat, and while breathing out, make the humming sound louder, deeper, longer. Keeping your focus inside the forehead. It should take a longer time to inhale. It should also take a longer time to exhale with a humming sound. Rhythmic, louder, longer. But where the mind is sitting inside the forehead. Continue. And stop this humming. We'll move to the third stage that we did last time. We will inhale for 10 seconds, 15-second retention of the breath. During that retention, we sing the mantra, we recite the mantra with the meaning and the knowledge. Knowledge should be installed in the mind. And after that 30 seconds of release of the breath, allow the breath to be normal. Now see, we are going for an intensive. It doesn't mean that we lose awareness and we push the mind and wait for the mind to react. If that happens, it's a failure. Let us start. Inhale deep, silent, slow into the belly and the rib cage. Focus inside the heart. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be well-being for all. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Release the breath. Allow the breath to be normal. So when you have to see the well-being, it has no shape, size, color, form. It is a state of consciousness. Again we will repeat this. Now start inhaling deep, silent, slow into your belly and the rib cage. Hold the breath in the heart. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Release the breath. Just allow the breath to be. So now check. The breath instantly becomes normal. The mind has no time to react, but it responds in calmness. That becomes one-pointedness. Inhale deeply, third time. Belly and the rib cage. Focus remains inside the heart. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Release the breath. Second mantra is Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Perhaps you remember I explained a couple of times, when we have a good space in the mind, it leads to peace. So you are aware of the good space. Inhale deeply into the belly and the chest again. Continue. Retain the breath. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Release the breath. You remember the entire process. Inhale deep, silent, slow for 10 seconds. Means slow down. Inhalation. Retain the breath inside. Focus is already there. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Release the breath. We are not pushing the mind. That will not make us a seeker. This mistake we commit when we do not understand the journey. Yes. focus. Inhale deeply again into the belly and the rib cage. You remember the focus and retain the breath. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Release the breath. You see, now the third mantra, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, sense of completeness in yourself. Let the mind experience that sense of completeness. Inhale deeply into the belly and the rib cage again. Continue. And retain the breath. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Release the breath. Allow the breath to be normal. Inhale again. Deep, silent and slow. Hold the breath. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Release the breath. Do you know the word I believe? Precision. That is required. Not overdoing. Not allowing the mind to react and I can retain the breath for 2 minutes. Retain it. You cannot become a seeker. Third time. Inhale, deep, silent, slow. Retain the breath. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Release the breath. So every time you feel as if the practice of retaining and reciting the mantra and visualizing that knowledge, it is a play and a fun for you. You are becoming the seeker. You don't forget. Forgetfulness, you already know the mind. Inhale, deep, silent and slow. Continue to inhale. The last one is Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, auspiciousness. Retain the breath. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Release the breath. And you start using different words in the phrases. Precision doesn't need an extra effort. It needs an extraordinary awareness. Inhale, deep, silent and slow, my friends. Retain the breath. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Release the breath. You see that when you live into that extraordinary awareness, the mind follows what you say to it, what it means. You're already there. Last time, inhale, deep, silent, slow. Continue. Retain the breath. mangalam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Release the breath. Check. Breath returns, to the normal. That normal breath, let it be. Let the body be as it is, experiencing, looking within the heart, a state of calmness and quietness. Become aware of the space. Pick up a point in the space and drop mentally Shantoham with the knowledge. Shantoham means I am the peace. It thrills you in your body and your mind. And then move the mind. Again, find another milestone in the space inside the heart. When you are clear, you are there, say Shantoham. Means, with a meaning, knowledge. I am the peace. No worries. Then continue to find another milestone. What happens in the journey, the time comes, mind doesn't want to move. Either by its preferences, likes and dislikes, or it is already settled inside. Mind says, no, I cannot move. You had the first glimpse of what I have been talking about, real self. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. When you are doing this practice at your home, continue with the Shantoham even if I conclude this session in that audio and see how long you can be into that state. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. Take your time. Bring your mind to the left hand. Raise both your palms. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. How are you, Jerry and David?
Very good, thank you. The felt warm when we started the humming, like a very large increase in body temperature. And I noticed no colors, but I noticed layers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then by the time we started the mantras, the layers, I could see them vibrating. And by the end of the mantras, there was nothing. It was blank.
Blank, nothing. That's a wonderful state. Wonderful state. How are you, Jerry?
I'm doing well. It was, I'd say, very carefree, the entire practice. The mind right away was inside and just observing the breathing, and the mind was watching.
Yeah. What?
I noticed goals. It was just carefree, so it was really nice.
Beautiful, yes, beautiful. How are you, Brandy?
Good. As I mentioned previously when we debriefed, I don't pick up a lot of colors, and I did some colors and shapes, but I'm a real feeler. And so most notably, I got when you did the completeness, right? I had a real sense of that, and then dropped down in really deep into my meditation.
Beautiful, beautiful. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. It was interesting meditation because I always seem to fall into meditation right away, which I did today, and I actually had some tenseness in my body that I didn't realize I had the tenseness in my body until we started the fast breathing, and I just felt this complete relief. And I said to myself, wow, I was tense and I didn't realize I was actually tense. During the Sarvesham Punam Havatu part, I had a lot of vibration above my crown. And outside of that, it was just quick and quiet.
Beautiful, quick. One point it came to my mind that who is understanding the experience, the mind. So we have to observe the two parts. One, experience of color, forms, quietness, calmness. But who is observing? Am I aware of that mind? So that mind then starts living into the fourth state of Ekagrata. And it becomes totally effortless. Otherwise, the mind carries the past impression and lot of stuff. That breaks the journey. How are you, Christina?
I am well. I'm happy to be here. That was great.
I'm also happy with you.
The beginning breath work felt very refreshing. It almost felt. I had the sensation, and I didn't hold on to it as much as I wanted to, but it felt like I was being bathed as a child, and I smelt what I used to smell as a child, and it was wonderful. And then all of a sudden we were done, and I was just following you, so that was great. Thank you.
You are a child. You are a child. Changed a lot. So how are you, Sam?
I'm good. Very effortless again.
That's good.
Quiet. When we started doing the Sarvesham, I was having a little bit of trouble following the instructions because I was so deep and content. But, no judgment, and very quick.
Very quick. That's beautiful. Either when you say effortless, it means you were also aware of the mind, not only the experiences offered to the mind. So we will pick up smaller things, subtle things. I told you precision. Now that makes you a seeker. How are you, Barbara?
I feel great. It was a wonderful meditation. And when we were reciting the Shanto Hum, everything just seemed so bright.
Beautiful. Good. Good. Next week, Barbara's grandchild will join us, whom I have taught, I think, for a couple of years, Barbara, isn't it?
About 10 years. Long time.
Yes. How are you, Sangeeta? Oh, Terry is also enjoying. Good, yes. Yes, Sangeeta.
सर बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा खुश था और लास्ट में तो आंखें खोलने का बिल्कुल मन नहीं कर रहा था.
Good. That's a deeper. She doesn't want to open her eye. अरे अपने मियाँ को भी कहो कभी कभी देख ले दाढ़ी वाले को भी. I'm asking her to. Her husband is also had been a student of mine. So whenever he has time, so tell him to see this beard guy. How are you, Ashok? Very good. I'm listening. I'm not listening. Oh, unmute it first. How are you, Terry?
Sir, I'm good. Sorry, I couldn't mute it. I'm good and it is progressing.
Oh, very good. Good, good.
Thank you, sir.
I'm happy to see the smile. How are you, Terry?
I'm just trying to remain with the effortless and peace.
Good.
I have difficulty breathing, so I couldn't push it. I'm barely breathing, but I'm trying to keep in the peaceful state while allowing the body to breathe to whatever it is, the extent that it is able to.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay. Yes. So today's summary, you can say that precision, the first word is the precision. The second is the mind follows the instruction 100% without any if and but. So if there is a if and but, means what? First three states, not the fourth state. First three states, not the fourth state. Christina, for anyone, someone who is very dear to you calls you and says, come on, we will go for a hiking. You say, yes, I'm ready. And someone you are not interested, you have a disliking. He calls you, go for a hike. No, I feel a little bit tired and fatigued. I have to be aware of those thoughts. Because when I'm doing it in my social, family and professional life, that accumulates the impressions. Why not be straight? See that? It has already accumulated a lot of impressions. Let us be straight, not interested today. No, you have to change your expression, I mean to say, but don't, I'm not saying that, you start hammering the head of others. What is this? Do you know that? That is what we say, yama and niyama. Yama, niyama, we say non-violence, non-stealing, non-possession, this is what we say. So when you relate yama and niyama with the religion, with the cult and dogma, that destroys the mind. So you see, and these things you can instantly apply in your life. that is all for today. Thank you. Thank you. We will meet again Monday.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Girish.
Namaste.
Terry is also doing namaste. Very good. I like it, yeah.